Hi everyone, I'm the Plant Propagator and welcome to my channel. Today it is mid-April in Southwest Florida. A beautiful day, no clouds in the sky. It's just a great day. A little bit of a gentle breeze, which is helpful, which I need. What I'm going to do today is share with you an unboxing, and I usually don't do these. I don't order orchids through mail order very much at all. I've generated so many of my own from seedlings. I don't need any more. But what I have been looking for is an orchid that sold out at a local show that I had and that I didn't get, and I really wanted to use in some of my crosses. So I needed to order it from this company, and they had it, and it was a reasonable price. This is from Carmela Orchids in Hawaii, by the way. I use a lot of different orchids in my crosses. I use the orchids that are around me, that are in my collection. When I go to orchid shows and meetings, what I do is I ask people, if I see a flower I like, I ask people if I can harvest pollinia from that flower, and I'll either use those directly in the crosses or use or save them, essentially collect the pollinia and add that to my pollinia collection, where I will use those down the road. But I like using the orchids that are in my collection, and I want to be able to use some of these orchids, you know, as a female parent. So when I use the pollinium, that's always the male parent, and I need to expand my collection a little bit. What I do is I get a lot of seedlings of the certain types for the crosses that I make, and they're small. I just want to expand my collection just a little bit. I really don't have much room, so I didn't get a whole lot. But and I've done one unboxing in a video before, but it was a single plant that was it was a no ID foul that one of the viewers sent me that was supposed to be fragrant, and that plant is still doing well and it's still growing, but I haven't really done an unboxing before. It's not what I do, but I'm going to do one just because. So this is, and it also, I should also say this, when I do send my orchids out to other people's seedlings and flasks, I need to know how the box is labeled. And so this has a perishable right here. It says, does it say live plants? It says somewhere on here, orchid plants grown in Hawaii is right here. So I think it's good to have this so that when they're delivered, they don't sit out in the sun. And this was nice because this was delivered right to my door in the shade. It's a Home Depot box, pretty sturdy. I didn't know what it was. I think, yeah, no, this is orchids. I get a lot of other shipments too of other things, but you know, it's not pants or socks or anything like that. So these are orchids. So I'm curious to see how they packed it, and I'm curious to see what the orchids themselves looks like. So let's get into it. I'm sorry. Let's wait a second. One of the other things I wanted to tell you is that I got this from Carmela Orchids in Hawaii. They're a very large grower and online seller of orchids. They're very reasonably priced. They are, you know, like I said, a good supplier of seedlings through flowering plants year-round. They really know what they're doing. The other thing is that I used an AOS, American Orchid Society discount. So I'm a 2-year member. I sign up for a membership to last 2 years, and when you do that, you can get the standard AOS discount, which I think is 5%, but you can either use that or I think it's a $30 off if you buy $100 or more worth of orchids. And there's a number of different vendors that will accept that. So it's one of the benefits of joining the American Orchid Society is that you can go to the AOS marketplace and get discounts for online orders. It's worth it just if you do that. So that's another plug for American Orchid Society. You join that, just the benefits from ordering online are great. All right, so now let's take a look at what's in here. Again, the box is packed pretty well. It's a sturdy box. and let's get into it. All right, so, and I know what I ordered, so it's not going to be a surprise what's here, but what I'm curious about is how big the orchids are. I know some of them are going to be small. I ordered some seedlings again because I try to be thrifty. So this is my order, and okay, most of the orders, I should say, when I look at this, the orders are, rather than putting the name of the orchid here, they put their catalog number, which means that I'm going to have to go back to my order and see what I got. So let's take a look as we get through this. So they stack it up in paper, and then they have the individual plants. Individual plants are wrapped pretty nicely. So, and they're wrapped well enough so this might take a while for me to get through here. I'll try to move through it quickly. Okay, I can see the seedlings. They got seedlings on the bottom. I think when they wrap like this, these may be the more mature plants. And there's comics here, and there's comics here. So Hawaii does it good with the amount of comics that they use in their newspapers. So the first, and this is a decent sized plant. It's just not even close to a seedling. Lots of roots throughout, and they apparently use, and I also should show you, so there's a polyfill that is used that they wrap around the individual orchids here. So put this down here, and this is, and I gotta be careful. I'm hesitant on using, so when I ship mine out, I use masking tape because it doesn't stick as much, but they use packing tape, which is a little bit of a surprise. It's certainly more sturdy, but I'm worried about ripping things off because it's around the pot and there's roots coming outside of the pot. These are pretty, yeah, see, I'm pulling the velamen off the roots. I get it packs well, but geez, I'm destroying the roots on these things, getting this out of here. Okay, so this is BLC Andy Uraski Orange Flare. This needs to be repotted immediately. So the new growth here is right at the edge of this pot. Nice plant. Is it a spike? No. So there's a leaf out here with a sheath, but there's nothing in the sheath. So a lot of these plants I kind of ordered because they're smaller and it may take like a year. But it's a nice looking plant. I think they get them to grow. As you look at the growth, as this plant grows this way, the leaves are getting bigger. Each leaf is subsequently bigger. You can even look at the track. So, first, second, third, fourth leaf, and it's getting bigger, so they know how to grow. They know how to grow their plants. Okay, so let me put this one down here and move on. This is a big pot. I can feel the pot in here. You have your choice. This is a small plant in a big pot, and there's packing tape on the newest pseudobulb, so I gotta unwrap this carefully so that I don't strip the, oh my gosh. Okay, it came off. I guess it doesn't stick that much. I'm really surprised because the packing tape is just really sticky. And it's getting all over my trimmers too. It's mostly on the I guess they try not to tape the roots, but that first one they did. Okay, so this is, this doesn't have a tag. Oh, there it is. See, this is the problem. So here, this tape was stuck to the tag, and I guess this is why you got to unwrap these guys one at a time. So this is what I ordered. This plant right here is what I ordered, so that I couldn't get anywhere else. So this is a great looking plant. This plant is really vigorous. I've used this in my crosses. So this is Hawaiian Prominence, and this has flowered already. So this will be ready. This is a good plant. This is a nice mature plant, and this will flower this year. So it has 2 flower spikes that are past, which means that maybe if I get this in the right conditions, maybe this will flower for me this year, which is good. Okay, stop the unboxing. I just showed you Hawaiian Prominence America that was in a pot that was delivered to me from Carmela Orchids, and I took a look at the pot a little bit carefully, and I actually decided to repot. And when I dumped out the pot, what fell out were 3 separate smaller plants. Now, I ordered the large plant from Carmela, and to be honest, I'm a little disappointed that they were apparently out of the large plants and decided to take 3 small plants and shove them in a box, shove them in one pot and put bark all around it. I went back to Carmela's website, and it turns out that they're not offering Hawaiian Prominence America anymore. So that seems to be what happened. I wish they would have called me. I wish they would have told me what was going on, email, whatever. And to be honest, this is pretty disappointing. I'm not sure whether I'm going to order from Carmela again. The plants are nice, I guess, but this was a disappointment. All right, let's move on. Okay, moving on. So I'm happy to get Hawaiian Prominence here. And this plant again, lots of roots on this guy. Okay, see that? That's called a lot of roots. And look, there's a new growth. Look, it's got 3 new, 1, 2, can't tell, 2, 3 new pseudobulbs coming out, which means really good growth. The roots that are on here, I'm not sure if I'll be able to save them. And again, you've got roots on the outside of the pot, and then this packing tape also wrapped around the outside of the pot. I guess it's to keep the bark, but it's to keep the bark in the pot, but it's also sticking to the roots. And I guess it doesn't stick too bad, but I'm not sure I like it. And here's where there's all these roots attached. Yeah, I mean, it's pulling some of the roots off, the outside of the roots, but those roots, maybe they're outside and they look pretty dry, so I'm not sure whether any of these roots here, some of them clearly are not viable, some of them may be. It's hard to tell. Okay, so this is Potonara Lila. Glasses right here. I should know what I ordered. So this is Lila Ashitomi Hawaiian Flare. All right, so this is also a pretty nice plant. And this is, the new growth is right here. It's fallen over the edge of the pot. So this is gonna have to be repotted right away. And it might not even stand up. I better just lie it down. Okay, there's one more, it's not even that large, but one more pseudo-large plant, and the rest are clearly seedlings. And the cost of the seedlings, I should mention, is I think it's around $7 or $8 when you look at it. This is just a little bit larger than a seedling. Oh, look, this is packed differently. So this is just in a bag with a rubber band on it. Yow. And I need to stake this. There's a lot of wobbling on this plant. So, okay, and this is a seedling too. A lot of wobbling on it. And this is Tushkin's Gold Pay Dirt. You know, what I do, and this has some really nice new roots that are coming out on this plant. So I'm pretty happy with that. But what I do is I looked at the plants. Most of these are clones. There are some seedlings in there, but most of the plants are clones, which means that. So I just got three more that are pretty similar. Which means that they're kind of known. So they did have a few. They did offer a few seedlings, a few unknown that are just crosses or unregistered crosses. But most of these are clones, so you kind of know what they're going to be. More seedlings. So this is in a 2.5 inch pot, and this looks pretty nice. It's got a new cane coming out of it. Waianae Appeal Carmela. So this is one of their clones. And again, from looking at this, there's a new pseudobulb coming out, and it looks like new roots that are associated with that. So there's one. You know, I much prefer these as far as the ease of getting them out and not destroying the roots. And this is a handwritten tag, but look at the amount of root growth that's coming out of this plant. So there's a lot going on here. This seems like it might be big enough to repot, and I got to go in here and figure out where the new growth is coming from. It's just a mass of roots, and this plant is kind of growing up and out of the pot. So the newest pseudobulb is coming out, so the top of the pot is right here, and the newest pseudobulb is coming out right here. So this is going to have to be planted like this in another pot so that the plant is level with the potting mix. This is Waianae Starburst Volcano Queen. Again, a new pseudobulb coming out. This looks pretty good. And then finally, this one. So some of these, the one that I really wanted, I'm the most pleased with, because it's a mature plant and it's already bloomed a few times. This is a small plant. This is a seedling, and this is BLC Hawaiian. I think it's leopard Mei Ling. So this is a cultivar, so it's already been awarded. There's a new pseudobulb coming out here, but this is a clone. But this probably was still in flasks, maybe a year and a half ago. So it's going to take a while. This is a small plant, nice root growth on the top, but it's going to take a while to flower. So the interesting thing that I'm noting here is that let me check. There's nothing else in here, but the interesting thing, everything that I pulled out of here is in, this really needs to be repotted, is in bark. So I can't tell with this because there's so much moss on the top of this plant, but it appears to also be bark. So, and I don't know what kind of bark, but everything is in bark. So this is my first it's not a huge unboxing, but this is my first big unboxing from Carmela Orchids, so thank you very much for putting this order together. I should also say that this thing arrived within a week, or I think it was probably I think maybe 5 days, 4 or 5 days from Hawaii that it took to get over to the East Coast in the United States. Plants look like they're in great shape, so overall I'm happy, but again, I think I've got some repotting to do with some of these plants so that they do well in transition. Okay, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you liked my video and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. Okay, can't wait. I gotta find room for them, but I can't wait to add these plants to my collection. All right. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.